What is up, you guys? It's your boy Lo here, and this is my first story time of many. So if you enjoy it, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop into it. So based off the title, you already know what this story is about to be about. My first time getting head while at school. So basically how it all got started was we had a class together, which was history, and she sat right in front of me. And one day we were in class, we were just kind of like joking around, and she said something. It was more sexual. She said something. I don't remember what she said, but then I was like, what that mouth do though? And she turned around to me and was like, what do you want it to do? So after she said that, basically it turned into like a few days of kind of joking around about it. But then I could tell she started to get a little more and more serious about the situation. So I was like, hey, I might as well capitalize off this. So what ended up happening was she started asking like, what size is it? How big is it? And I was like, just know I got something to work with over here. And she said, well, let me see. So I was like, but we at school. She said, okay, and so after she said that, basically it turned into like a few days of me just like kind of edging it on, just being like, oh, okay, what's up then? And she just be like, whenever you ready, I'm ready. So this being my first time, you know, I had a lot of things going on in my head and imagination, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get her to do this and this, I'm gonna get her to do this, I'm gonna hold her head this way, I'm gonna lean back like this and let her go ahead and do what she gotta do. But that didn't really happen. What happened was, we were leaving. We had two classes together, actually. We had history and another class together. So basically it was like a Thursday, and we were leaving the first class we had together, which is our fourth block, and after that we both had lunch. So I was like, hey, I'm free if you ready. And I drove to school, so I was like, hey, we can go ahead and hop into the truck. And she said, okay, I'll follow you. So we walking out to the truck, and as close as we get, I'm just like, oh, hold up. Am I ready for this? Am I ready for this type of commitment to my body? We got closer and closer, and I parked closer to the back of the parking lot. So it was a lengthy walk, and she was kind of following behind me, probably like 10 to 15 feet, just so it wasn't like too obvious. So basically, we get to my truck, and it's like my windows aren't tinted on my truck, so it's easy like to see through in the front two windows. And there was a lot of students coming and going because we could go off campus for lunch. Well, we're not supposed to, but we still did. So basically she was like, well, it's too obvious right here, drive over there to the side. So I drive over to another part, which is like right in front of our little theater center part, and I was like, is this good? And she was like, yeah, this is perfect. So I backed in so nobody could see us like from the school, but there was a bunch of buses coming back and forth and back and forth. So that was already a problem. Once all the buses were cleared out, we were like, all right, let's get to it. So when it was time to get to action, this is basically how it went down. Because a few days, like a day or two before this happened, she kept asking, like I said, asking like how big it was and like what size it was. So I was like, what if I just reverse it? Tell her it's not that big, so when she sees it, she's in shock. So what I did was, a few days before, I was like, I got a little something, it's enough, it'll do, and blah, 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 blah. So basically, when we got out there to the truck, we get to our little spot and whatnot, it's about time to get to the business. Well, for her. So what I do is, I go ahead and lean my seat back, throw my hands behind my head, and I'm just sitting there relaxing, ready. Then she looks at me after I get all situated and comfortable and says, I didn't know you were serious about doing this. I thought you was just joking around. What? Why would I joke about some head? Huh? Why? Why would I joke about some head? Who don't want no head? I do. I want some head. She starts unbuttoning them pants and whatnot. I had a belt on, and she started complaining, why you wear a belt if you know we was gonna do this? And I said, I wasn't planning on doing it today. I just always wear a belt. So we get the belt undone. She undoes my pants, undoes my zipper, and she pulls it out. She pulls it out and was like, you said it was small. And I said, hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Do what you gotta do. So she pulls it out, and after she says what she says, then there's somebody that starts walking by, like right by my truck, right next to it. And like I said, the front two windows aren't tinted, so you can easily see what's going on. And it was somebody I recognized, and I think they recognized my truck because they said my name, and it was like, hey, ain't this truck, and I was like, ooh, hope they don't catch me in here. The main reason I didn't want to get caught is because she wasn't like all of that. She was more of one of them girls that you would like if you had sex with her or if you got something from her, you wouldn't tell nobody. She's just one of them type of girls. You don't want nobody knowing about it. You don't want nobody knowing. So basically, after they walked past and they took a quick glance into the truck, but we both had leaned our seats back, so I guess they didn't see us or whatnot because they just kept going. So she finally gets going, and in my head, I start thinking of all the porn that I've ever watched and what the guys do in there and blah, 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 how you grab the head and you push it down. And I was like, let me get my inner porn to come out so, I can perform in this little sexual activity. So basically, I'm laid back like this, and she's going, and I look down, and she going all the way down. I was like, oh, okay, she had a little practice. She know what she doing. Got the little tongue action going around the tip and all of this other stuff. So then, as she's going, I do a little porn stuff. I grab my hand, put it on top of her head. She slapped my hand and was like, what are you doing? And at this moment, I'm looking like, I thought this is what you do. This being my first time and everything. So I was like, what you mean, what am I doing? This is what people do, ain't it? She said, no, don't touch my head. You're going to mess it up. I was like, okay, excuse me. Well, go ahead then. So she keeps going, and basically I'm just sitting there kind of, keeping watch and whatnot, making sure nobody was like coming up to the truck or walking past and whatnot. So after 10 minutes or whatever, I finish and blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, she swallows and whatnot. And then she looks at me, wiped her mouth and said, I'm hungry. What that got to do with me? What that got to do with me? I didn't know we cut a deal. We didn't cut a deal. You just said you was gonna do this, and that was the end of that. And basically, she was like, "Well, the least you could do is take me to McDonald's." The least I could do. This was your idea. Well, it was kind of mine, but it was mainly hers for going along with it. But this was your idea. How you gonna put that on me? She was like, well, I mean, if you don't want me to tell nobody about this, then I suggest you take me to McDonald's. I was like, oh, shit. You gonna blackmail me. So I was like, all right, you know what? It ain't even worth it. I got a few dollars on you, boy, because I just got paid. So I look over to her. I was like, all right, you can get one item off the dollar menu. That's it. Just $1 $1 menu. She was like, I guess. So we driving up there. And she just sitting over there. She still doing this. And I'm like, after you get this little item, you better shut the fuck up. You're not getting nothing else. You better not tell nobody. I'll just deny it. You ain't got no proof. Nothing else. She was like, I ain't gonna tell nobody and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So we get to McDonald's. She just basically wanted a fry and a drink. So I was like, all right, whatever. We can get you a quick little small fry. Nothing special, just a small. We can get you a small drink. You better hope they don't put no ice in there so you can get more of your drink, more bang for your buck. So then basically we drive back to the school, and that was the end of that. But a few days later, she messages me. She kicks me and was like, hey, you trying to do it again? And I was like, I don't know, because last time, you tried to hustle your boy out of some free food. So I was like, you ain't gonna get nothing in return. She said, don't be like that. I just want one little thing. I was like, all right, what you want? Tell me what you want. Let's see what you want. So I was like, all right, what is it that you want in return? She was like, I just want a kiss. I said, like a kiss on the cheek? Like that? She was like, nah, I want like a quick little make-out kiss. I was like, what you mean? Ain't no quick make-out kiss? And she was like, it only gotta be like 5 to 10 seconds. And I was like, I don't really want to do that, because like I said, she was like ugly, but she wasn't that ugly, but she was ugly. A nigga was just trying to get some top, okay? It was my first time trying to get some top. Anyways, and basically I was like, I don't know about that. So I was like, oh, maybe I could trick her into giving me something first and then dropping her off, like just kicking her out the car before she asked for a kiss. So I was like, all right, whatever, we can do it. So basically, it was supposed to happen like that morning before school. She was like, meet me, because class started at like 7:30. So she was like, meet me at like 6:50 at the front doors off to the side or whatever. So I roll up. It was like, I was a little bit late. I rolled in about 7:10, but she should have been there waiting. I walked in, I'm looking around, and the thing with her phone was she couldn't take it to school. Like, her parents didn't let her take her phone to school, which I never understood, because how they supposed to get in contact if something happened. But anyway, so basically I didn't have a way of like asking like where she was and whatnot, so I kind of just stood around for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I didn't see her, and I was like, all right, oh well, guess it wasn't meant to be, maybe another time. So then class, and she was like, where was you at this morning? And I was like, I was there on time. I actually showed up early. I showed up at 6:45, knowing damn well I didn't show up till about 7:10. She ain't need to know all of that though. So after, she was like, well, okay, let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never came, because I was kind of over it at that point. I was like, I hit up somebody else. I'm good, because you kind of pressuring it, because she asked for something else on top of that, on top of the kiss, because she wasn't gonna get the kiss, but she wanted something else on top of that. So I was like, I don't think I'm ready for that. I'm not ready for that type of commitment, to be touching on you and stuff. If you know what I'm talking about. She wanted a little, yeah. But yeah, that's the story of my first time getting head while at school. If you guys enjoyed that story, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is my first video of many to come, so go ahead and subscribe. Keep tuned in. Until next time, sayonara.